Welcome everybody. Haven't made a POTA video for a while, so I thought I'd turn one out nice and short and sweet. Yesterday, we were out at Sherburne. It was Sunday, December 29th. Temperature was about 30, low 30s, late morning. We're out for a couple hours, all on 10 meters. So no major revelations here, just a handful of tweaks that I thought I would share with you, make things a little bit easier perhaps. So we'll just start in the truck, kind of with the radio, and work our way back. This is my 110th activation. Been doing it for about a year and a half, and most of the time I do it inside my truck, because it's either too hot or too cold or too buggy. But whenever I can get out and set up on a picnic table outside, that's definitely nicer. But we got a very good system inside the truck here. I can make a space in my passenger seat and in the back seat and have people come sit inside and help log or whatever, and that works pretty good. Um, so you can see I run my iPad on the center console for logging, and I use Ham2K portable logger for my logging software. I've been using that for about 8 months. Love it. I highly recommend it. And then we're rocking the Yaesu FT891 for the radio. Good old 50-foot piece of RG8X for our feed line. The next little tweak we got going on here is I've put the antenna tripod up into the truck bed. And you may be thinking, why would you do that? And here I'm just going to say, it's all about experimentation and trying different stuff. And I do this knowing that 80% of my little experiments are probably going to be silly and a waste of time. But then 20% of those experiments, you can surprise yourself. Hey, I like this. It's turned out a lot better than I thought. I might just add this into my routine. And then another reason why I did this is if you go to those parks, if you're trying a new park and the thing is the size of a postage stamp and you're like, why is this even a park? And you've got no room to operate. Now I know I can run the antenna up in the truck bed and I know it works. So you can just, like I say, add that to your bag of tricks. And if need be, you can run that way and I know it works. I know it works. Plus the base of the antenna is like 8 or 9 feet off the ground. So height is might, the antenna's up a little higher. All those little things kind of add up. And now you are a more capable, versatile activator. All right, next little tweak that I wanted to share was how I connect my radios to the base of my antenna here. As you can see, I added a hook terminal to the end of my radio that connects to the antenna. I used to use these clips like you see here, and that would just kind of grab onto that L bracket. And so I'm using elevated radials, and so you got to have a little tension on these things, and so that would slip off pretty regular. It's kind of a pain. So the days of that clip slipping off that L bracket are over. And the nice thing about a hook terminal as opposed to a ring terminal, you don't have to take the nut off. Just loosen it up about a half a turn, hook it on there, and tighten her back down, and away you go. Next link in the chain here is my radial. I am currently running one linked, elevated, tuned radial. There's a mouthful for you. So let's get into that. But before we do, I want to give credit to some of the guys on YouTube that I absolutely love and recommend that you listen to. I get a lot of ideas and good inspiration from KB9VBR, Mike from Wisconsin, and his friend Dave, KZ9V, in particular for some of the ideas I got to make this radial. And also Greg from California, KJ6ER. If you've ever heard him, he's the guy from California who goes whoo on the radio all the time. Super fun guy. He gives back to the community. I'll put a link to the couple of antenna designs of his in the description. All right, so what we're looking at here is one of the connection links to the radial here. So we've got the wire itself, we've got the paracord, we've got the alligator clip, and then the other end of the paracord hooking onto the other link here. And so all the load bearing is on the wire and the paracord and the other end of the wire, and there's no load bearing on the alligator clip itself. So you just unclip whatever band that you want along the radio. And when you want to switch to a different band, super simple. Clip it on, clip off the other one. It's that simple. And I forgot to mention what you're seeing here on these ends are two little 4-inch zip ties on either end, just snugged up nice and tight, very solid. So, how do we hold up the far end of the elevated radial? Here's what I do. I use a 3-foot piece of 1/2 inch rebar, and either in the summer, I'll just kind of push it in the ground or give it a little tap with a hammer. And then I'll slip my 5-foot piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe over that. And then I'll attach the end of the radial, either the radial itself with the clip directly to the PVC pipe, or I'll take a string with a little loop in the end, hook that into the hook, the clip on the end of the radial, and then wind the other end around the top of the PVC pipe. And that works fantastic in the summer. But in the winter in Minnesota here, we get very hard frozen ground. And I used to take a 3-pound hammer with me and just pound, pound, pound this piece of 1/2 inch rebar into the dirt. And that was not ideal. That was a pain to get it in, it's a pain to get it out. And so what we're doing now is I'll just take my drill a 6-inch hole deep into the ground, and that's a 3/4 inch bit, 6 inches long, and just drop my 1/2 inch rebar into the frozen hole in the ground. Works great. All you need is about 6 inches because the ground's frozen and that rebar is not going to tip over in that frozen ground at all. And again, just slip the PVC, the 3/4 inch PVC over the 1/2 inch rebar. Another example of experimentation that from this day forward, I'm probably going to use being this string method, because you don't have to be exact where you pound your rebar into the ground. Just make it a couple feet past the end of the radial and string it up with the string, and you can make it as taut or as loose as you want. And that's what we've got for today. So I hope this helps people out in your POTA activation. May have spawned some thoughts how you can maybe even improve some of these things even further. So yeah, thanks again for watching, everybody. God bless. Talk to you soon.